Court is in session to cause number 322-350, case of South State of Texas versus Eric Daigle, or Eric Joseph Daigle. Mr. Daigle, would you please raise your right hand? Mr. Daigle, do you swear or affirm to tell the truth, the whole truth, and nothing but the truth, so help you God?
Yes, sir.
Okay, Mr. Daigle, I have before me two documents. The first document is titled Judge's Explanation of Rights of Defendants Without Attorney. Mr. Daigle, do you recognize this document? And is this your signature on the line that's titled Defendant?
Yes, sir. Yes.
And are these your initials on the line stating you want to apply for court appointment counsel?
Yes, sir.
The next document is titled Affidavit of Indigence. Mr. Daigle, do you recognize this document?
Yes, sir. I do.
And on page 2 of the same document, Mr. Daigle, is this your signature above the line that's titled Defendant Signature?
Yes, sir.
Now, Mr. Daigle, before you sign and initial these documents that I've just mentioned to you, did you read the documents? Did you understand what you read? And is everything in these documents true and correct to the best of your knowledge?
Yes, sir, they are.
Okay. Now, Mr. Daigle, based on your answers in these documents, you meet the eligibility requirements of the court for a court-appointed attorney. The attorney that will be appointed to represent you in this case is Attorney Terrence Allison. Mr. Allison is going to be given information on how to contact you. You'll also be given information on how to contact him. You're going to stand on the X in front of our court coordinator. She's going to give you a reset. Once you get your reset, you're free to go on your left side. Okay, you are stand over there. In his case, it's going to be reset on the same date of his felony case. Is that correct?
Yes. That's the sign that one.
Oh, thank you. We have Mr. Samuel's case.
Did they give you a reset that? Did they give you a reset that?
Then it was.
Listen.
I'm gonna take a seat right here and I'm calling you back up in it.
34. Asa Joseph Thomas Jones. Jefferson County Court of Law is now in session in 3 cases. All South State of Texas versus Asa Joseph Thomas Jones. First case is cause number 313216. Second case is cause number 327534. And the third case is cause number 329698. Mr. Jones, your full name, Asa Joseph Thomas Jones. Mr. Jones, would you please raise your right hand? Mr. Jones, do you swear or affirm to tell the truth, the whole truth, and nothing but the truth, so help you God?
Yes,
Mr. Jones, you may put your hand down. How you doing, Mr. Jones?
sir.
That's good. Mr. Jones, you're here represented by your attorney, Attorney Alwyn Samuel. Attorney Samuel, how you doing?
Great, sir.
Attorney Samuel, you do your waiver record in Mr. Jones' cases?
Yes, we do.
And Mr. Mr. Shearer, Mr. Ray Shearer is representing this district attorney's office. Mr. Shearer, how are you doing?
I'm doing good, Your Honor.
Mr. Jones, I have before me in cause number 327-534 an information that has been filed by the Jefferson County District Attorney's Office. This information alleges that on or about on or about May 8th of 2020, while you were in Jefferson County, Texas, that you committed the Class A misdemeanor offense of unlawfully carrying a weapon. Mr. Jones, do you understand what you've been charged with?
Yes, sir.
And to this charge, Mr. Jones, how do you plead? Guilty, not guilty, or no contest?
Guilty.
Now, are you pleading guilty freely and voluntarily? Are you pleading guilty freely and voluntarily? And are you pleading guilty because you are guilty?
Yes, sir.
Mr. Jones, I also have before me a document that is titled Misdemeanor Plea Admonishments, which also states Exhibit number 1. Do you recognize this document?
Yes, sir.
On page 2 of this same document, Mr. Jones, there's a set of initials. J was AJ on a line next to a box that's titled guilty. Mr. Jones, did you place your initials on this document?
Yes, sir.
On page 3 of this same document, there's a signature above the line that's titled defendant. Is that your signature?
Yes, sir.
On the next document, which is titled Trial Court Certification of Defendant's Right of Appeal, Mr. Jones, do you recognize this document?
Yes, sir.
And is this your signature above the line that's titled defendant? There are 2 boxes that is checked at the top of this document. The first box that's checked states that this is a plea bargain case and you have no right of appeal. Do you understand that? The second box states that you're waiving your right to appeal, which means you're giving up your right to appeal. Do you understand that?
Yes, sir.
I also have another document here. This document is titled Discovery Certification. Mr. Jones, do you recognize this document?
Yes, sir.
And is this your signature on the line that's titled defendant?
Yes, sir.
Now, Mr. Jones, before you sign and initial all of these documents that I've just mentioned to you, is your attorney, Mr. Samuel, go over these documents with you?
Yes, sir.
And did you read and understand everything in these documents? And is everything in these documents true and correct to the best of your knowledge?
Yes, sir.
Mr. Jones, are you a citizen of the United States? State, I have before me, States Exhibit number 1. State, you like to offer States 1?
Yes, you would, Your Honor.
Any objections?
Sure.
No objection. States Exhibit number 1 will be admitted. Mr. Samuel, you've advised in counsel, Mr. Jones, is there any evidence that he is currently mentally incompetent to stand trial?
No, Your Honor.
Mr. Jones, the attorney, Mr. Samuel, has advised in counsel, are you satisfied with his representation?
Yes, sir.
Has he provided full, effective, and competent legal representation?
Yes, sir.
Mr. Jones, I will accept your plea of guilty. I will find that you are mentally competent to stand trial. I will also find that your plea and waivers were freely and voluntarily given. And I will also find that there is sufficient evidence to find you guilty beyond a reasonable doubt. State, do we have a plea bargain agreement?
Yes, Your Honor, we do.
And what is that agreement?
For cause number 327534, Mr. Jones
The date.
will serve 30 days in the Jefferson County Jail. It will forfeit the firearm in question. And this time is to start this Friday at 8, the August 26th of 2022.
August 26th.
Yes, Your Honor. This case will dispose of 313216 by it being dismissed, and it will run concurrent with 329698.
Concurrent. Okay. Now, Mr. Jones, the state is offering that you serve 30 days in the Jefferson County Jail. You will be given credit for any time that you are entitled to get by law. Now, the court costs in this case, I need his affidavit.
I'm sorry, Your Honor. I think we're going to tax them to our court cost.
But they don't do the taxing. The court call comes after the fact.
Okay.
Yeah, after. Now, let me do this here. Mr. Jones, the court cost in this case is $337. Will you be able to pay the $337?
whole or like a payment plan?
Whole.
Not whole.
Okay. Now, do I have his affidavit? Just hold on a minute. Oh, he has 14 days credit in here? That's what I'm looking
He
at.
does have some credit. I didn't know the exact number of days he has.
I don't know how it came,
So
but that, it's in the,
the
it's in the judgment.
Okay, the goal is that he would go in Friday and finish out.
He has 2 days, he's 2 days short. I contacted the sheriff's office. They said he has credit for 14 days.
Okay,
And they.
So
get
he'll
2
give-
for 1.
okay, so he'll give,
Okay.
okay. Do you have his affidavit? Okay. 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 Why don't you show that to your client? Mr. Charles, your attorney is handing you a document that is titled Affidavit of Indigence. Do you recognize that document? Okay, now, is everything in that document still true and correct today?
I don't have a job no more.
So your income, what did he say?
He doesn't have that job anymore.
So you don't have a job at all?
I do, but I don't have a Pine Street market.
Okay. See if you can make a correction on that to, what his income may be.
About the same.
Okay, so your take home is basically the same?
Yes, sir.
Okay, so your bills are basically the same as well?
Yes, sir.
Okay. Okay, he only had a laptop. Well, yeah, 5, yeah. Weekly, okay, 60, okay. So, okay, Mr. Jones, you meet the eligibility, well. Okay, Mr. Jones, the court is gonna find that you're indigent, and based on that finding, the $337 court cost is gonna be waived, which means you won't have to pay it. Okay, the court is gonna make this finding pursuant to Article 42.15 of Texas Code of Criminal Procedure. Okay. Now, Mr. Jones, the state also, in this case, is offering that you forfeit the weapon in this case, and I have before me a motion to forfeit. Mr. Jones, do you recognize this document? And is this your signature on the line that's titled Defend the Signature?
Yes, sir.
Now, Mr. Jones, prior to signing and initialing this document, did your attorney go over this document with you?
Yes, sir.
And did you read and understand everything in this document?
Yes, sir.
And is everything in this document true and correct to the best of your knowledge?
Yes, sir.
Okay, the court is going to grant the forfeitures of this weapon to the Beaumont Police Department. Okay, and so, Mr. Jones, do you understand the state's offer?
Yes, sir.
Do you think that the state's offer in your case is fair and just?
Yes, sir.
And do you accept the state's offer?
Yes, sir.
Okay, now, Mr. Jones, also in relations to this case, cause number 313216 will be dismissed. And this case will run concurrent with cause number 327534. And your jail time will begin on August the 26th, 2022 at or before 6 p.m. Do you understand that?
Yes, sir.
All right. The next case that we have, Mr. Jones, is cause number 329698. The case is styled the state of Texas versus Asa Joseph Thomas Jones. Mr. Jones, I have before me the a document that was filed by the Jefferson County District Attorney's Office is titled Information. This information alleges that on or about October 17th of 2019, while you were in Jefferson County, Texas, that you also committed a Class A misdemeanor offense of unlawfully carrying a weapon. Mr. Jones, do you understand what you've been charged with?
Yes, sir.
And to this charge, how do you plead guilty, not guilty, no contest?
Guilty.
Now, are you pleading guilty freely and voluntarily?
Yes, sir.
And are you pleading guilty because you are guilty?
Yes, sir.
Mr. Jones, I have before me a document that is titled Misdemeanor Plea Admonishment. It's also labeled as State's Exhibit Number 1. Mr. Jones, do you recognize this document?
Yes, sir.
On page 2 of this same document, there's a set of initials on the line that's titled guilt, that's next to the box that's checked guilty. Did you place your initials on this document?
Yes, sir.
On the next page of the same document, there's a signature above the line that's titled Defendant. Is this your signature? And on the next document, which is titled Trial Court Certification, the Defendant's Right of Appeal, do you recognize this document?
Yes, sir.
And is this your signature on the line that's titled Defendant?
Yes, sir.
Are these your initials? Well, these two boxes are checked at the top of this document. The first box that's checked state that this is a plea bargain case and you have no right of appeal. Do you understand that?
Yes, sir.
The second box states that you're waiving your right to an appeal, which means you're giving up your right to an appeal. Do you understand that? And I also have before me a document that is titled Discovery Certification. Mr. Jones, do you recognize this document?
Yes, sir.
And is this your signature on the line that's titled Defendant? Now, Mr. Jones, before you sign and initial these documents, did your attorney go over these documents with you? And did you read and understand everything in these documents? And is everything in these documents true and correct to the best of your knowledge? And state, I have before me State's Exhibit Number 1. State, you like to offer States 1?
Yes, Your Honor, we would.
Any objections? No objection, States 1 is admitted. Mr. Samuel, you providing counsel, Mr. Jones, in this case as well. Is there any evidence that he's currently mentally incompetent to stand trial?
No,
And Mr. Jones, your attorney has advised and counsel you in this case. Are you satisfied with his representation in this case?
Yes, sir.
As he provided full, effective, and competent legal representation?
Yes, sir.
Mr. Jones, I will accept your plea of guilty. I will find that you are mentally competent to stand trial. I will also find that your plea and waivers were freely and voluntarily given. And I will also find that there is sufficient evidence to find you guilty beyond a reasonable doubt. State, do we have a plea bargaining agreement?
Yes, Your Honor, we do.
And what is that agreement?
The agreement is that for cause number 329698, Mr. Jones will serve 30 days in the Jefferson County Jail. He will forfeit the firearm in question. This cause number will run concurrent with 327534 and will also result in the dismissal of 313216. And again, his time is to start August 26th of 2022.
Okay. Mr. Jones, the state is offering that you serve 30 days in Jefferson County Jail. You'll be given credit for any time that you're entitled to get by law. The court cost in this case is $337. Court has previously found that you are indigent, and based on that finding, this court cost will also be waived pursuant to Article 42.15 of the Texas Code of Criminal Procedure. Also, this case will run concurrent with cause number 327534, and the state will be dismissing cause number 313216 216. And your jail time will begin on August 26th at or before 6 p.m. Mr. Jones, do you understand the state's offer?
Yes, sir.
Do you think that the state's offer in your case is fair and just? And do you accept the state's offer?
Yes, sir.
Okay. Oh, let me do this here. Mr. Jones, I also have another document before me. This document is titled Motion to Forfeit. Mr. Jones, do you recognize this document?
Yes, sir.
And is this your signature on the line that's titled Defendant? And Mr. Jones, prior to signing and initially in this document, did your attorney go over this document with you?
Yes, sir.
And did you read and understand everything in this document?
Yes, sir.
And is everything in this document true and correct to the best of your knowledge?
Yes, sir.
Okay, Mr. Jones, the court is going to grant the forfeiture of the weapon in this case through the Beaumont Police Department. Now, Mr. Jones, again, state is offering that you serve 30 days in Jefferson County Jail. You'll be given credit for any time that you're entitled to get by law. The court cost of $337 will be waived pursuant to Article 42.15 Texas Code of Criminal Procedure. This case will run concurrent with cause number 327534. The state will also dismiss cause number 313216, and the weapon in this case again will be forfeited to the Jefferson County District Attorney's Office. Mr. Jones, do you understand the state's offer?
Yes, sir.
You think the state's offer in your case is fair and just?
Yes, sir.
And do you accept the state's offer? And do you accept the state's offer?
Yes, sir.
Okay, Mr. Jones, I'll follow the plea bargaining agreement that you have entered into today. Mr. Jones, you're going to stand on the X next to your attorney, follow the directions of our clerk. Once you follow her directions, you'll be free to go, and you have a blessed day. And Mr. Sammy, I think this is your only cases?
Yes.
Okay, you'll be free to go as well. And Mr. Jones, I'm also signing the dismissal, and you'll be able to get a copy of the dismissal in a few minutes.
Abbreviated all this. One line.
Your dismissal is printing off. Baby Sammy, you'll be free to go as well, and you have a blessed day.
Thank you, sir.
Oh, yeah. Did I give you one already?
Next case is cause number 329406. Case of South State of Texas versus Kenneth Dwayne Williams. Mr. Williams, is that your full name?
Yes, Your Honor.
Mr. Williams, would you please raise your right hand? Mr. Williams, do you swear or affirm to tell the truth, the whole truth, and nothing but the truth to help you God?
Yes, sir.
Mr. Williams, you may put your hand down. How are you doing, Mr. Williams?
Fine, Your Honor. How you?
I'm doing fine, thanks. Now, Mr. Williams, you have a right to have the record, have a record in this case. And what that means is you have a right to have a court reporter to type down everything that's being said. And you also have a right to waive or give up your right to have a record. Do you waive or give up your right to have a record in this case?
Yes, sir.
All right. Now, Mr. Williams, I have before me two documents. First document is titled Judge's Explanation of Rights to Defendants Without an Attorney. You recognize this document?
Yes, sir.
Is that your signature on the line that's titled Defendant?
Yes, yes, Your Honor.
And are these your initials on the line stating you want to waive the right to attorney and to represent yourself?
Yes, sir.
I also have a document that's titled Waiver of Counsel for Purposes of Entering a Guilty Plea. Mr. Williams, do you recognize this document?
Yes, Your Honor.
And is this your signature on the line that's titled Defendant?
Yes, sir.
Now, Mr. Williams, before you sign and initial these documents, did you read the documents?
Yes, sir.
And did you understand everything that you read?
Yes, Your Honor.
And is everything in these documents true and correct to the best of your knowledge?
Yes, sir.
All right. Now, Mr. Williams, I also have before me a document that is titled Information. This document was filed by the Jefferson County District Attorney's Office. This document alleges that on or about February 27th of 2020, while you were in Jefferson County, Texas, that you committed the Class A misdemeanor offense of possession of dangerous drugs. Mr. Williams, do you understand what you've been charged with?
Yes, Your Honor.
And to this charge, Mr. Williams, how do you plead? Guilty, not guilty, or no contest?
Guilty.
Now, are you pleading guilty freely and voluntarily?
Yes, Your Honor.
And are you pleading guilty because you are guilty?
Yes, sir.
Okay, Mr. Williams. Let's see, Mr. Williams, getting up another document. Now, Mr. Williams, I have another document here. This document is titled Misdemeanor Plea Admonishments, also labeled as State's Exhibit Number 1. Mr. Williams, do you recognize this document?
Yes, Your Honor.
On page 2 of the same document, Mr. Williams, there are two sets of initials. The first set of initials is on a line next to a box that's checked guilty. Did you place your initials on this line next to the box that's checked guilty?
Yes, Your Honor.
The next set of initials, and the initials are KW, is on a line below a paragraph that's next to a line that reads, I do not request discovery of the evidence. I waive my right to request discovery in this case and choose to enter a plea of guilty or no contest. Now, Mr. Williams, did you also initial this? Are these your initials?
Yes, sir.
Now, and you place your initials on this document, is that correct?
Yes, sir.
On page 3 of the same document, there's a signature above the line that's titled Defendant. Is this your signature?
Yes, sir.
And on the next document that's titled Trial Court Certification of Defendant's Right of Appeal, do you recognize this document?
Yes, sir.
And is this your signature on the line that's titled Defendant?
Yes, sir.
There are two boxes that's checked at the top of this document. The first box that's checked states that this is a plea bargain case and you have no right of appeal. Do you understand that?
Yes, sir.
The second box checked states that you're waiving your right to an appeal, which means you're giving up your right to an appeal. Do you understand that?
Yes, sir.
Now, Mr. Williams, before you signed and initialed all of these documents, did you read the documents?
Yes, sir.
Did you understand what you read?
Yes, sir.
And is everything in these documents true and correct to the best of your knowledge?
Yes, Your Honor.
Okay. Now, Mr. Now state. I have before me State's Exhibit Number 1. State, you like to offer State's Exhibit Number 1 into evidence?
Yes, Your Honor, would.
Mr. Williams, I have before me a document that is titled State's Exhibit Number 1. State's Exhibit Number 1 is the document that has the box checked that this is a Class A misdemeanor. This is the same document that have your initials on page 2
Yes, sir.
and your signature on page 3. The state would like to use this document as evidence in your case. Is it all right for the state to use this document as evidence in your case?
Yes, sir.
Okay, no objection, State's Exhibit Number 1 will be admitted. Mr. Williams, are you a citizen of the United States?
Yes, sir.
Mr. Williams, is there any evidence that you are currently mentally incompetent to stand trial?
Yes, sir.
Okay, Mr. Williams, I will accept your plea of guilty. I will find that you are mentally competent to stand trial. I will also find that your plea and waivers were freely and voluntarily given. And I will also find that there is sufficient evidence to find you guilty beyond a reasonable doubt. State, do we have a plea bargain agreement?
Yes, Your Honor, we do.
And what is that agreement?
The agreement is for Mr. Williams to serve 3 days in Jefferson County Jail, which he has credit for that, and we're gonna give you credit for time served, action entire court costs.
Mr. Williams, the state is offering that you serve 3 days in Jefferson County Jail. You will not have to serve any more time in Jefferson County Jail on this case because you've already served 3 days in Jefferson County Jail. Therefore, you'll be given credit for time served. The court cost in this case is $337, $387, but you will not have to pay the court cost because the time that you spent in jail has already paid it off. Therefore, the court costs will be taxed and retired. Mr. Williams, do you understand the state's offer?
Yes, sir.
And do you think that the state's offer in your case is fair and just?
Absolutely.
And do you accept the state's offer?
Absolutely.
Okay, Mr. Williams, I will follow the plea bargain agreement that you have entered into with the state. Mr. Williams, this will conclude your case. You're going to stand on the X and follow the directions of our court coordinator, of our court clerk. Once you follow her directions, you'll be free to go, and you have a blessed day.
Thank you, man. You have a blessed day.
All right. Okay. This is file number 326-776, case of style State of Texas versus Tuesday Bowser. Now, Ms. Bowser, your attorney, your case is going to be reset. You're going to stand on the far exit in front of our court coordinator. Once you get your reset, you'll be free to go and you have a blessed day. Now, let's do this here. Make sure, do you work?
Yes, sir.
Okay, give her, have you already reset it?
No, sir.
Yeah, let's reset her, maybe about 90 days, 60 to 90 days, because it won't interfere with your job.
I have to take off every time.
Yeah, I'm just talking about in terms of like a short period instead of, we give you more time, so I want to interfere with you. If that's what you prefer, not.
Get up there. He, well, it's kind of hard to communicate, he not actually around the center, so I'm kind of.
Well, reset it, no, don't put it out too long. Put it out, he's saying that, because if we have this communication problem again, we're gonna have to do you're gonna have to resend that order. Okay.